Hello Internet, this is Scott Lemke from Howling Moon Software, and we're going to talk about some of the new features in Chipmunk Pro 6.1. One thing we've been working on and off for quite a while is Approximate Convex Decomposition. So previously Chipmunk or the auto geometry would be able to trace like shapes for terrain or convex shapes for you, putting a convex hull around them. Now we have the ACD algorithm will allow you to split objects into a number of convex pieces. And a lot of people use triangulation for this, and that doesn't work quite as well. It tends to generate a lot of like really skinny, slivery looking shapes, or just a lot of extra shapes than it needs to. This isn't really very good for performance. And that's why I've been pursuing this approximate algorithm instead. Another benefit of being approximate, if you give it a pixel or two of tolerance, it won't fit the shape exactly, but no one's really going to notice, and it'll generate many, many fewer shapes. So if I open up the image that backs this, you can see kind of, and I can draw on this, draw some new stuff, put a couple specs, save that, and run it again, and you'll see that it puts those new shapes in there too, and those as well, it nicely follows the contours of them. So that's the approximate concave decomposition, and I got another demo actually for it, for showing running it in real time, and it's very fast. It does show off one of the limitations of it, that currently it doesn't work with holes. So if I close this off, it's still detecting that there's a line in there, like it'll, the image sampler will return that, but it doesn't know what to do with it. You actually have to filter those out yourself. The demo code here kind of shows you how to do that. It's the line of code. It's very easy to do, but it doesn't work yet. I want to support holes, but it'll have to be with a separate function, because it'll have to figure out which hole goes with which polygon, and that is a little more expensive to do. So it's going to be an optional sort of feature. If you want to do it, you can do it, but it's not forced on you for the performance hit. Next up is we have some changes to the ChipmunkMultiGrab object. So one issue with the multigrab before was it used a point query, and the points that it used were infinitesimally small. So if you picked a spot that's in the middle of some shapes, like after this falls down, like it's just going to be kind of filled with like a Swiss cheese of holes. If you clicked on any of those holes or touched it with your big fat finger, you'd feel like you should pick something up, but it'd query like right in the middle of that, and you wouldn't pick anything up. So what we do have now is nearest point queries, which I'll talk about in the next video a bit more. They'll let you detect if any objects are near a point and what the closest point on that shape's surface is. So as I click near objects, I can still pick them up. I kind of gave away the next feature a little prematurely there. If it doesn't detect an object within that space, you can enable a second mode for push, so you can actually push objects around with your fingers too. This works, multi-touch, so I can go like this. Each one is independent, so I can pick up an object and push with the other. It's kind of fun because you can actually like pinch objects with that to pick them up on the screen, and I think people can do some pretty interesting stuff with that. The last feature is threading. The threaded solver has been available in the Chipmunk Pro Git repository for a while for people that have been interested. But now it's official and in a release. It's not enabled by default. If you create a hasty space, you have to set the number of threads. There's also a C API for this, so it's not limited to Objective-C. And it's based on P threads, so it'll work on any platform that supports P threads. Yeah, so once you create a space, you enable threads by setting the number of threads. On iOS and OS X, I knew how to detect the number of CPU cores the system had. So if you pass 0, it'll automatically select the number of threads to use for it. And those are the major new features of Chipmunk Pro. There's more changes in the changelog, so definitely read that too. But I hope you enjoy the new features, and see you next time.